It's said that there are no free lunches in life. And, when it comes down to conditional support or unconditional support, you can hark back on what went down with the 2024 verdict, where you had the TDP and the JDU, the top two allies, crucial allies for the Bharatiya Janata Party, coming in and saying unconditional support. But it seems there are conditions to that unconditional support as well. And they have demanded days before the budget their pound of fiscal flesh. But what will go down as budget nears? Will Modi give? And if he does, how much will Modi give in? That's the big question. Let's take it directly first. As I introduced you to our political panelists this evening, Gopal Krishna Agarwal, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Professor Jyotsna Tirunagari, National Spokesperson, TDP. We'll shortly be joined by Rajiv Ranjan, Spokesperson, JDU, Siddharth Zarabi, Managing Editor, Business Today TV, in the studio with us. Siddharth, this was something we knew the day the coalition came in together, that for the TDP and the JDU, it was very clear that they'd be asking for money. One can say, but it's happened throughout, cash for support.
Yep.
But do you see the government given? Do you see the Prime Minister given? And if so, how much? And how will it impact the economy then?
The indications of Mr. Chandrababu Naidu's intentions were clear very early on, June 7th, if I recall correctly, when he spoke at the NDA meeting. And, restoring a sense of economic growth to Andhra Pradesh is a clear priority. Now, you can look at the money in total, Polavaram Dam project, you can look at roads, drinking irrigation, water projects, Amravati rebuilding. All of that adds up to quite a decent sum. But the broad thrust is that as far as Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, if I may add, because of the special circumstances in which Bihar lost Jharkhand and a major source of mineral revenue, and Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, again Andhra Pradesh in some ways was left with lesser economic viability in certain areas, and therefore there is a broader rationale to that demand. There are 10, 12 odd states which have historically received special status from the mid-60s, including our northeastern states, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Assam, for example. If it were to be given, then it's a policy call. Will the government agree? Will the Prime Minister agree? We don't know that.
But they will be pushed back.
Well, of course. And remember, there is a finance commission which has been constituted that, although its terms of reference do not explicitly and directly address this, that has the liberty to look at it. But remember, special status as a category has not been in favor for quite some time now. As far as budgetary support from the center is concerned, whatever the demands of Andhra Pradesh, and if we take Bihar altogether, let's say 1,50,000 or 1,60,000 crore, all of it may not have to be given on day one. That means it doesn't have to be given in one budget. It can be spread out. So financially, fiscally, it's not that huge an issue. I think it's the politics and the optics, Preeti, that will be more important.
But politics or the optics, well, they're not looking for special status anymore in any case. I think both states and both chief ministers are looking for a special economic package.
Because there is realization that special status category as a term, as a terminology is no longer there. And that's why get the money. If you get a status without the money, it doesn't matter. But the Finance Commission can have a role to play. That award will come in some time. So we'll have to wait whether this budget sets the ball rolling in this regard in terms of providing additional financial support to these two states.
I'm going to come right back to you. Let me just quickly introduce our other panelists as well. Professor Jyotsna is with us. And Professor Jyotsna, one thing that had been said repeatedly was by Chandrababu Naidu, your leader, that this is unconditional support. But clearly the conditions in the unconditional support were very clear, and most of them dealt with a financial condition.
When we said unconditional, and we stick to it because, Preeti, one thing is we are concerned and we are worried about the development of the state of Andhra Pradesh. That's our, if you call it a condition, yes, that's the condition we have. So we wanted the support of the center for developing the state of Andhra Pradesh, because for the past 5 years, the state has suffered huge. Let me put it very clearly here. Absolute mismanagement of the finances of the state. We can see a drastic economic imbalance and economic mismanagement, I would say. So definitely the need of the hour is the support from the center. We have categorically said that earlier also, and assurance was also given by the center and the central ministers. Because if you see, Priti, let's say, for example, for the past 5 years, nothing has happened in terms of development of the capital city of Amaravati. Absolutely nothing. Nothing has happened in terms of the progress of Polavaram, a national project. Nothing has happened in that. No, when we talk about other parts of the state as well, when we talk about the Medtech zone, or when we talk about the Bhogapuram airport, whatever you take, nothing has happened for the past 5 years. So definitely we thought it's our responsibility, and people have bestowed that trust in us, that only we can do it. The NDA government can do it. Priti, well, let me put it very clearly here. It's an NDA government in the state of Andhra Pradesh and an NDA government at the center as well. So definitely we believe good is going to happen for the state of Andhra Pradesh. And when recently, last week, our Chief Minister, Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, has visited many of the ministers. He had paid a courtesy visit to many of them, explained them what the state is undergoing. And
Professor Jyotsna, you've said it very well, which wasn't said in so many words earlier, that one needs to keep in mind that there is an NDA government at the center. And one needs to underline that twice over, Gopal Krishna Agarwal, because at a time where the government would be desperate to curb, government spending, how this will impact fiscal budget, though you've got Siddharth Zarabi, who's also made it clear it's not going to be a one-time payment. It can happen through the course of 5 years. But it's still a sum and a tightrope walk for the government, because in the past, even during Manmohan Singh's regime, we've seen a lot of pushback at that time as well.
Priti, we have to understand there are 2-3 important issues here. One thing is that already devolution of fund is there from the state to the states as per the formula in the Finance Commission, and 15th Finance Commission is already working on that, and that devolution is there on a state basis. There is a specific formula, and a lot of funds are going to the state. Second thing is about the GST, indirect tax, which is distributed between the state and the center. And the third is important that, as Siddharth also said, that there is nothing in the budget or any constitution here that there is a term like special state. The third, which Sudhaji has said, that there are needs, infrastructure needs that of the states that have to be fulfilled. And here I want to say, Preeti, that you said that it will be an important challenge for the budget to manage these infrastructure spending. No, budget is for managing infrastructure spending. Government is not going to curb any infrastructure spending. And those budget, we are working on competitive federalism. States which have good project on infrastructure, already government has committed more than 12 lakh crores on infrastructure. I am very sure that it will further be increased with infrastructure pipelines. There are projects where power project, renewable energy project, whichever states provide good ecosystem of development for setting up industry, for setting up infrastructure project, for setting up airports, all these things. So these are competitive federalism, and those projects, they will never hamper.
But Gopal Krishna Agarwal, you've said it twice over, so You've said it twice over, so I'll repeat it. When you speak of competitive federalism, you do know the same competitive federalism is quoted multiple times by the state of West Bengal and other states which are not run by the Bharatiya Janata Party. So when you say spending on infrastructure is a part of, the budget, then it will be contended with the same line that you've used to support it, which is competitive federalism. But I'll come back to you. Allow me to come back to you. Yes, please, sir. Make your comment.
The thing is, when you talk about West Bengal and other states, it is about the social welfare schemes where they have objections. They have objections because they are not providing proper data. They are not aligning with the central's requirement on the schemes, and therefore there are shortages in there.
It's okay. This debate is right now. It's really, let's steer clear from the other states, because there's really no one from, say, a TMC to come and defend their stand, because they've been very vocal. Actually, it's a battle right now which is being fought in court. It's a battle of the centre holding on to funds for the state of West Bengal, which is being taken to court.
Projects from Andhra and Bihar.
Fair point. Okay. Open to all projects. Well, I don't know if there is an option to be close to that as well.